Hey everyone, it's Brian for GumballTech.com, and today I'll be bringing you my full review of iFixYourI's white iPhone 4 conversion service. Basically, this service lets you send your black iPhone 4 over to iFixYourI, and they are based in Florida. And for $200, you could have them replace your black parts with white parts. So right now is when the review pretty much starts, and I sent them my phone on a Saturday through USPS. This was about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and they received the phone on Monday, and on that same Monday they swapped out the parts. They tested it, made sure everything was working properly once they put the phone back together, and then they overnighted the phone to me via FedEx, and that was cool. That was nice of them to do that. And when it got here, the white iPhone 4 was in the box, and that was pretty much all that was in the box, just the iPhone and some sort of a styrofoam padding material, and that was pretty much it. They did not give me my black iPhone 4 parts back, which I'd hate to put it this way, but it's sort of considered stealing because, you know, they are my original black parts, and that's what I really paid a lot of money for, because those parts are legitimate OEM parts. And I complained a little bit, and they gladly sent them back to me, which is nice, but they did not send me my home button, which is a little bit disappointing, but oh well. Let me see if I have my original parts. And here they are really quick. I'm just going to leave these out here so I can show you a little comparison video between the original parts and the ones that were installed onto my iPhone 4 in the white color. And here is the black back panel, the original one. And here is the front glass panel with the fused together Retina display. You can see that there's a whole bunch of fingerprints on here, and those were not on there when I sent them my phone because I've never taken it apart, so I don't know why there would be this many fingerprints on there. So anyway, on to the white iPhone 4 some more. So when I got it, I took it out of the box. Everything worked fine. I was pretty happy with the results. But it wasn't until I started looking closer at the actual parts that I found out that these are all none of these parts are OEM. These did not come from Foxconn, the manufacturer of the iPhone 4s, and it was a little bit disappointing. So basically, for $200, you're paying for fake parts. First, I'll start with the back. I did a horrible screen shield install, so there's a bunch of bubbles, and the screen shield sort of offset to the right a bit. Basically, there's no flash diffuser, and without a flash diffuser, your flash isn't going to be spread out enough when you take your pictures. I don't know how well it's going to show up on the video, but on the white iPhone 4, there's no flash diffuser at all. It's just showing the LED flash. And on the original part, you can see the flash diffuser sort of built into the glass right there. Basically, what the flash diffuser does is it sort of spreads your flash out around a picture, similar to the way a flashlight works. So if I turn on the LED flash without the flash diffuser, you can pretty much see that the flash is a perfect circle. If there was a flash diffuser, it would have spread out a lot more. Personally, it's not a big deal, but again, you're paying $200 for fake parts. I've actually found all of these parts on a number of different websites that look exactly like this. And for those who are wondering, I'm going to go ahead and take off the back plate for you really quick. The iPhone 4 is basically the easiest iPhone to take apart. Basically, you take out these two screws at the bottom, and you slide the back plate off of the iPhone 4. And there's a number of if you're considering going with iFixYourI to do this, hopefully you've received an indication by me that this isn't going to be worth it. So once again, you are paying $200 for fake parts. Now, I've taken the back plate off of my iPhone 4 a number of times, and this little pull tab here was perfectly straight before I sent it to them. And when I got it back, it's all crinkled up. It's not really good. Also, the battery looks like it was abused a little bit. Also, last night when I took this white plate off, I turned my iPhone over this way, and a little screw fell out. Now, I have absolutely no idea where this screw came from, but I just cannot figure out where I need to put it back into. I once I took the back plate off, I just flipped my phone over and out came a little screw. So that's another negative. Another one is that I think they've messed up my camera. Now, when I'm taking a picture of something light, like let's say I'll take a picture of the white back plate, there's actually a little gray blob on the lower portion. Yeah, you could definitely see it in the video. You can see this gray blob right there. Right there. Yeah, it should show up pretty good on the camera. Basically, this was not there before I sent them my phone. Once I got my phone back and started to take some pictures, I instantly noticed that gray blob. Now, I've tried cleaning the lens itself. That does absolutely nothing. So I guess something got up in there, and I just have no idea why. I don't know if they took out my original camera and replaced it with a cheap Chinese camera, but I don't know what they did. I don't really like it. It's definitely disappointing, but I mean the camera seems to work fine other than the gray blob. It takes videos just fine. The front-facing camera works fine still, which is good. So onto the back plate. This is glass, for those who are wondering. Here we do have the ring for the camera, and it can actually pop out quite easily. So the real one doesn't do that. Here's the black part, and the ring is, well, that's another thing that's missing. They didn't include the little metal ring that sits around the camera. So they definitely didn't give me all of my parts back. But here, let's do a quick comparison. You can tell that the white one looks nothing like the original black one. There are original OEM parts of the white iPhone 4, and the real back plate looks similar to the black one, where it has this stuff here, it has the flash diffuser, things like that. There's definitely some missing elements in this one compared to the real one. So this piece here is definitely fake. I've seen these all over eBay. So yeah. And towards the end of this video, I'll show you the website where I found all of these parts. You can easily find the fake ones all over eBay that look exactly like this. And I'll show you where I think that they bought these. Anyway, that's it with the rear of, or the back of the phone. While I put the back plate back on, I'm going to talk to you about a couple other elements that, or a couple other pieces of hardware that they did not swap. And if they did do that, then it would have been a 100% white iPhone 4. Basically, a real white iPhone 4. It has a white dock connector down there. So I have seen these parts available online. They're pretty cheap, and basically it just makes your dock connector white, and that's what the real white iPhone 4 has, a white dock connector. And that's something that they didn't replace, which is sort of disappointing because the dock connector part is fairly cheap, about 30 to 35 bucks. So yeah. And the same thing goes for the headphone jack. They also have a part where the headphone jack is white. On the real white iPhone 4, the headphone jack is white. So yeah. So all the buttons were just as clicky as before. I do believe that the silent switch is more of a switch than before, because my silent switch before I sent the phone to them was sort of, it was just easier to push. This gives you sort of a click to it, pretty good feedback. Power button's the same, which is good. Glad they didn't mess that up. So onto the front. Now with the real iPhone 4, whether it's black or white, here's the black one, and you can see the Retina display is fused to the front piece of glass. I've seen a number of parts where there was a white frame without the LCD screen, and I have seen the Retina displays sold separately. So on real iPhone 4s, these things are fused together, and they're pretty. Unless you want to take a lot of time separating these things, it's pretty much impossible. So what I think they did is they bought a separate Retina display and the white frame, and they glued the Retina display to the front piece. And the reason I think they did that is because as I started looking closer at the front, I noticed there was a bunch of glue, especially on the bottom of the phone, because once I put the screen shield on initially, there's a bunch of bubbling on the bottom of it. Right now on your screen you should be looking at a couple of pictures of this, and you can definitely see that there was some sort of residue on here. And basically what I did to sort of scratch it off a little bit is I took a pen and I just sort of scratched it off, and that really helped. And you can sort of see where some of the glue is in between the glass and the white frame of the glass, and that sort of also is why there's some bubbling around the edges. The home button, pretty good feedback, I like that, although you can sort of see where they sort of screen printed the little square onto the home button, so that's not legitimate. The earpiece looks fine, front-facing camera still works. The proximity sensor looks just like the one in the white images. You can sort of see inside of it. Right now on your screen you should be looking at a picture of the white, or at the proximity sensor. I took that one last night. Onto the Retina display. The display seems fine, so does the digitizer. All of my touchscreen inputs work just fine. All the multi-touch gestures are correct. The display itself looks just as good as the one on my real iPhone 4. So that pretty much tells me that they don't make fake Retina displays. But I do think that they sort of fused it onto this piece of glass. So that's pretty much it. I know it's a really negative review, but they're charging people $200 for this. I forgot to say that they did do this service for free in exchange for a review. Overall, I'm satisfied with the design. If I handed this to somebody at Apple, I mean, unless they looked at the flash diffuser, that's the first indication that this is fake. Nobody would really know the difference if this is real or not. Very few people have actually seen the real one. There are real white iPhone 4s out there. People do have them. Parts are available on the internet for the real ones, but I guess iFixYourI's just wanted to go the cheap route and get the fake ones. Now I will say that there is another service like this, provided by iRescue. Basically they have a similar service for $250, and they will swap out the parts for you once you send them your phone, and they use legitimate OEM parts. So if this is something that you'd like to do, if you have the money to do this, go ahead and get it from iRescue. If you want to save $50 and don't mind getting fake parts, then go over to iFixYourI's. But again, overall it looks really nice. I've had a few people stop me and take a look at this, and they think it looks pretty nice. So yeah, I mean, if you really don't care that these are fake parts that you're paying for, I mean, go for it. If you have the money to do so, just go for it. If you want real parts, go with iRescue. If you still want the iPhone 4, but you're still a little unsure of whether or not you want to send your phone to somebody, maybe you should just wait until Apple actually releases the white iPhone 4. It's been like 3.5 months since they said they were going to be releasing them later this year, but it looks like they might be releasing them next year. I don't know. Nobody knows. So that is pretty much my review of iFixYourI's white iPhone 4 conversion service. This is definitely one of the longest videos I've made, but there's a lot of different things to talk about here. Once again, I am satisfied with the results. Oh, one more thing I didn't mention. On the top right corner of the white front frame, it looks like they sort of bashed it against something a little bit, and you can see some sort of black marking there. And basically it looks like they tried to cover that with whiteout, because the little piece of whiteout is definitely whiter than the frame. So disappointing as well. Oh well. Once again, I am satisfied with the results. It does look pretty, as you can see. I definitely like these better than my original black ones, but it is sort of disappointing at the same time. And I wish they would have sent me my ring for the camera and the home button. I mean, if I need to send this to Apple for any reason and I need to swap out the parts really quick, I can't do that because I don't have my black home button or the ring around the camera on the back. So I'm going to see if I can get that from them. If I could get that from them, then I'll be happy. But there you go. Leave any comments or questions down below. Subscribe to my channel if you want more iDevice related videos and things like that. We also do a number of different giveaways. We do at least 2, maybe 3 giveaways a month, and they're all pretty good products that we give away. So thanks a lot for watching, and I apologize for the long video. This is definitely longer than what I usually do, but there's a lot of information to be said about the white iPhone 4 conversion service by iFixYourI's.com. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys later.